Two grown women were screaming at each other, waist deep in a lake, during a wedding weekend, over a casserole dish. And that wasn't even the worst part.
Let me be clear, I didn't choose this family reunion. It was forced upon me. My name is Amelia Carter. I'm 27 years old, living peacefully in London, minding my business, drinking oat milk lattes, and avoiding my extended family like it's a competitive sport. Then my mom called. "Amelia," she said, in that tone that already sounds like trouble, "your cousin Daniel is getting married." I said, "That's lovely." She said, "And the wedding is part of a family reunion weekend." I froze. 3 days. A countryside resort. With relatives I see once every 5 years for a reason. I tried everything. "I have work," I said. "You work remotely," she replied. "I might be sick. You posted brunch on Instagram. My car is acting funny. I've booked you a train ticket." That's when she added, casually, "Also, just don't mention you're still single. And if anyone asks what you do, make it sound impressive. Oh, and Aunt Linda is bringing her new boyfriend." I laughed nervously. "Mom, I'll be fine." She paused, then said, "All right, darling. I'll pray." When your own mother prays for you before an event, that's not faith. That's foreshadowing. The reunion was held at a lakeside resort in the English countryside, the kind of place that looks peaceful until your family arrives and turns it into a live-action disaster. I hadn't even stepped off the train when I heard someone shout, "Amelia, enter Uncle Roger." Uncle Roger is the type of man who peaked in secondary school and never emotionally moved on. He still wears his old football jacket like it's armor and tells the same story about the winning goal from 1989. He ran at me, hugged me too hard, then lifted me off the ground. "I remember when you were this tall," he said, holding his hand at knee height. "I'm 27, he replied. "I pay council tax." He laughed and said, still tiny, "You need to eat more. Sir, you're breathing like you just ran a marathon after walking 10 steps. Inside the resort, I was handed a printed schedule. A schedule. Friday, welcome dinner and icebreakers. Saturday morning, family games. Saturday afternoon, talent showcase. Sunday, wedding. Whoever planned this hates happiness. I got to my room and discovered I'd be sharing it with my cousin Ethan, age 20. Ethan didn't say hello. He looked up from his laptop and said, "Have you heard about NFTs?" I sighed. That night at dinner, I finally met Aunt Linda's new boyfriend, Nigel. Nigel wore a full suit to a lakeside buffet. He shook my hand like he was trying to assert dominance and said, "So, Amelia, Linda tells me you're into technology. I work in digital marketing." "Ah, computers," he said proudly. "I've got an idea for an app. We should collaborate." Every single time. Then came Aunt Susan. Aunt Susan lives for drama. She once cried at Christmas because someone used store-bought gravy. She stood up with her wine glass and said, "It's just wonderful to see family come together. Some of us actually make the effort." Silence. Everyone knew she was talking about Aunt Margaret, her sister, who she hadn't spoken to in 4 years. "Why, a borrowed casserole dish." My mom leaned toward me and whispered, "Brace yourself." Too late. Saturday morning was family games day. They split us into teams. I was on Team Green with Uncle Roger, Ethan, Aunt Linda, Nigel, and my 70-year-old grandmother who insisted she was still flexible. First event, 3-legged race. They pair me with Nigel. Nigel, wearing loafers. The whistle blew. He sprinted. I fell. We both crashed into the grass within seconds. His trousers ripped. He looked at me seriously and said, "We need better synergy. Sir, we need medical assistance." Second event, water balloon toss. I was paired with my grandmother. She launched the balloon like a missile. It missed me completely and exploded directly on Aunt Susan's face. She screamed. Her mascara ran. She pointed at Aunt Margaret and yelled, "This is your fault, isn't it?" Next thing I knew, both sisters were shouting, storming toward the lake, and falling in. Fully clothed. Still arguing. The entire family watched in silence. Uncle Roger yelled, "This is why I don't come to these things." "Uncle Roger, you organized this." I tried to escape the talent show. My mom found me. "You're watching," she said. "It's important." First up, Ethan. He performed a spoken word rap about cryptocurrency, financial freedom, and breaking the system. It lasted 6 minutes. A child cried. A woman walked out. I reconsidered my life choices. Then Nigel went on stage. Nigel did magic. Bad magic. We could see the cards. He pulled a rabbit from a hat. It wasn't his rabbit. It bit him. Someone screamed, "That's my pet." Security was called. Finally, Uncle Roger. He played Ice Ice Baby. He danced like it was a life or death situation. He attempted the splits. Something popped. He went down. The music kept playing. Sunday arrived. Everyone was exhausted, traumatized, quiet. The wedding began. Right in the middle of the vows, Aunt Susan and Aunt Margaret started arguing again. Loud whispers everyone could hear. The officiant froze. Then my grandmother stood up and shouted, "For God's sake, Susan, just buy her a new dish." Silence. Then laughter. They hugged. The wedding continued. At the reception, my mom smiled at me and said, "See, family isn't so bad." I looked around. Uncle Roger in a knee brace. Nigel doing magic for children who walked away. Aunt Susan's hair still damp. I said, "Mom, I'm moving to Scotland." She laughed. "See you at Christmas." No, absolutely not. But as I went home, I realized something. My family is chaotic, loud, unhinged, but never boring. Still, next reunion, I'm changing my name. The end. Relieved face sparkles. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.